Oh, well, I send most of this stuff to the UK and Canada. That's what I tell people. I don't know why I don't tell people that I just sell this stuff on Amazon. And when I say people, I mean cashiers, managers, people in the checkout lane, basically anybody, any stranger who asks me what I do. Oh, I send most of this stuff to the UK and Canada. It works in every situation. For instance, today, I was checking out at Walmart. I had 2 carts stuffed with stuff and another empty cart in front of things, in front of those 2 carts. Because as I'm checking out, I like to empty one of those full carts into the empty cart, and then I empty the other full cart into the, what used to be the full cart, the empty cart now. And it just makes transitioning everything really easy. Sometimes I don't even ask for bags with a lot of stuff because it takes them longer to bag the stuff than it does for me to bag the stuff in the IKEA bags that I'm always talking about. So, with like little stuff, they'll bag it. With big stuff, I'm just like, hand it to me. I'll just put it in the cart. And it's really, you can stack things really well in the cart that way. Bags can screw you up sometimes when you're trying to stack things neatly in a cart. Anyway, back to the original story. I had my 2 carts and I had my 3rd empty cart, and the cashier says, and I hate hearing this because if she only knew, right? God, if she only knew. But she says, "It's so nice what you're doing." And I say, "Yeah." And she says, what charity do you work with?" And mind you, I've given her my Walmart tax exempt certificate that says resale on it. But at this point, I'm not going to explain myself. She's already got in her head that I'm a wonderful person. So I say, "Oh, well, I send most of this stuff to the UK and Canada." And she says, "Well, that's still really nice." And great, end of conversation. We don't have to talk about this anymore. And that gets me off the hook, and she's satisfied, and I pay my bill, and I get out of there, and I go to the next place. But I get other questions too, like, "Do you resell all this stuff?" And I say, "Yeah, I do. I send most of this stuff to the UK and Canada." And, and they're like, "Oh, wow, can you really charge more money than what you're paying for it?" And I'll say, "Yeah, their money's worth more than ours." And, that's usually true, and sometimes maybe it's not true, and sometimes we're pretty even over the course of years, right? But it always works. They never really, give me a hard time about it. So please, if you're ever in a situation where you are uncomfortable because of the questions that are being asked of you. And listen, if you're one of those guys that's like, "I sell this stuff on Amazon. I'm an Amazon seller and I love it. And you should be an Amazon seller too." That's great. For some reason, I don't know, I've trained myself that's just what I say. It's automatic. And it just works in every situation. So if you get uncomfortable when people are starting to ask you questions about what do you do with all this stuff, or they say, "Oh, you're such a wonderful person. What charity do you work with?" I send most of this stuff to the UK and Canada. It's perfect. And maybe it's not perfect every time for everybody, but it's always worked out really well for me. And use it if you want to, because I use it, I love it. And that's it, man. That's it for today. So, see you next time.